So Jamal Adams, one of the best safeties in the NFL. I think that he's right up there with the Honey Badger, right up there with Derwin James, right up there with Earl Thomas. He's a great player, and he's lived up so far up to the 6th overall pick, the spot that he was taken. Now, from what I've been reading, there were conversations about, the general manager making it clear that they were not going to trade him. There were maybe some potential extension talks, and then reports surfaced that he was kind of on the trading block. And that kind of took Jamal Adams off a little bit, and he said that he wants to be traded. So he's listed off a bunch of teams that he would like to go to, and honestly, it's kind of a mess in a sense that, okay, you probably don't want to make that promise to Jamal Adams that you're not going to trade him, because if a team gives me a king's ransom for a player like Jamal Adams, I know he's great, but he's a safety. So, and you're not winning right now. It's not like you're in win now mode. So you could potentially, look to move on from Jamal Adams and maybe build up the offensive line. Maybe get Sam Darnold some more weapons. So that's just my mentality. It was a mess from the start. Now, personally, I would consider actually trading Jamal Adams because, for one, he's not happy right now, and you're losing right now with him. So, I mean, you can say he's a great player, but I think that offensive lines, defensive lines, I'm talking edge rushers, pass rushers, and wide receivers, your weapons, that's what wins in the NFL outside of quarterback play. So, if I'm the Jets, I'd honestly look to trade Jamal Adams for all those reasons. And we'll get to some teams that, we think are good for Jamal Adams if he was to be traded. What teams make sense. But just give me your thoughts on the whole Jamal Adams situation as a Jets fan.
Well, it started off at the trade deadline last year when the new general manager came from the Eagles. He came from the Ravens, and the Ravens, you're taught, if someone calls about a player, you listen. That does not mean you're interested in trading them, but it means you'll listen. You listen to everybody on your roster, because if you can get a king's ransom, then, it's hard to turn down, like you said. And then Jamal Adams saw the rumors about him possibly being traded to the Cowboys, and that kind of takes him off, because he was told he wasn't going to be traded and that his job was safe, and he felt the team was going behind his back trying to trade him. From my understanding, that's not really the case. It was just the general manager doing his job. And then this offseason came around. The Jets told Jamal Adams' camp that we can start talking contract negotiations after the combine. His contract, he's got 2 more years left on his contract, plus a franchise tag. The Jets are in no rush to get a contract done with him at this point, right? So the Jets don't see a rush, but they don't mind starting the contract negotiation. And then a giant pandemic hit, and that stopped any talks from happening. And there's so many question marks about the league this year. If the league plays with no fans, they lose $3 billion, I think I read, in revenue. And if that's the case, the salary cap's going to go down like $20 to $30 million per team. If the salary cap goes down, the Jets will be in the hole. They'll have negative salary cap. So the Jets don't want to make a move, commit to someone long term right now, if they don't know what's going to happen in the future. Also, you have to look at his draft class, too. He was drafted in 2017, in the first round, right? So look at who in his draft class, in that first round, has signed a new deal already. Myles Garrett's still waiting on a new contract. Deshaun Watson is still waiting on a new contract. Patrick Mahomes is still waiting on a new contract. Christian McCaffrey got his. He got a new contract, and that's great for him. And that's what Jamal Adams is running off of, is that McCaffrey got. But no one else in his draft class in that first round, Marshawn Lattimore, hasn't gotten it. There's a lot of players right now who still are waiting on their next contract. But teams, this is not just the Jets that are worried about this. It's mostly all 32 teams that are worried about what's going to happen with the salary cap, what's going to happen with this season, and how that's going to impact what we can pay our players. And Jamal, rightfully so, wants to get paid. He is the best player on the Jets defense, arguably on the team. He has been there. He has played lights out. But what the reports I'm reading kind of make me a little furious, It's pretty much, all right, Jets, you pay me $20 million, or you make me the highest paid player on the defense, which CJ Mosley signed a huge contract last year for about $17.5 million per year. The Jets want to make Jamal the highest paid safety, which right now that would be anything more than $15 million a year. Jamal, from the reports I've seen, is either the Jets pay me a crap ton of money now, or trade me to a winning team, and I'll wait out the contract. I'll wait for an extension. I don't really like that from a fan standpoint. So it's saying, pay me or trade me to a team that's on my list. And if the Jets don't trade you, how do you go into the locker room this year? And you're supposed to be the team leader. You got a C on your chest for a reason. How are you supposed to go into the locker room this year and be like, hey guys, sorry, I wanted to be traded to a better team, but I'm not, or I haven't been, so I'm here. The locker room's going to be funny. Like, it's not going to be funny, but the chemistry's not going to be right, I don't think. It's just a huge mess right now. I think Jamal Adams is blowing it out of proportion. And it's like every other day or so, he's putting something on Instagram about maybe it's time to move on. Well, we Jets fans have loved and adored him. He's been a fan favorite. And now he's pulling this crap. And there's a lot of fans that are turning against him right now. Now, if he resigns and he plays well again, that might go away. But the fact that he put out a list of teams, he already figured out the 7 or 8 teams he would welcome a trade for. Like, do you think the Jets really care about who you want to be traded to? If the Jets trade you, it's going to be because they got the best trade package from that team. It's just a huge mess, and I can't see it ending very well either. I think it ends in a trade at some point. The Jets aren't going to be. They're not going to move fast on this. They have no reason to. Like I said, the Jets have all the control right now. They have all the leverage. Jamal is trying to gain some leverage, it seems like, by throwing temper tantrums on Instagram or Twitter and trying to just deteriorate the relationship between him and the Jets even more. That's the only leverage he's really gaining. Because if he misses training camp, if he misses games, he loses money. So if he wants like the Le'Veon Bell situation with the Steelers a few years ago. A lot of people don't think he really won that situation. I really don't either. Because even in the end, he still lost a crap ton of money by not playing. If Jamal Adams misses a season or misses training camp, he's going to miss a crap ton of money by not being there. So I do see a trade happening. I just don't see it happening yet.
Yeah, I would honestly trade Jamal Adams for all the reasons I mentioned, and I agree with a lot of things that you said right there. Thank you so much for watching this video today. Please also note that the Juiciest Sports Podcast is not just a YouTube channel. It is available on all podcasting platforms, including Spotify, Google Podcasts, iTunes, and Apple Podcasts. Also, if you enjoyed this video, be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and share this content with all your friends. This podcast is my favorite thing in the entire world right now. It is my passion. And I want more people to listen to this podcast. I really want this podcast to grow. Also, a fun fact about me is that I want to go into the sports broadcasting and media world once I graduate from the University of Toledo, a college in Northern Ohio. I currently am a freshman there right now. I am looking to become one of the next great sports broadcasters and analysts out in the world. And I potentially would like to start my own network if this podcast really truly grows. Or if I fall short of that goal, I would love to work for a big time network like ESPN or Fox Sports 1. I am open to all networks. So if you believe in my dreams and you see or hear my passion through the screen, be sure to tell all your friends about the Juiciest Sports Podcast. Stay motivated, you guys. Have a God bless day, and I'm out.